Radhikaye Priyatmane Re Srimad Bhakti-Vedanta Narayana iti namine Sri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Aurarya Madhurya Gunaisya Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Sirasa Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Sri Krishna Padabhya Udaika Udi Chaitanya Leela Mukasara Saram Narayanam Tam Prapadye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Sri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare. First of all, let me offer millions of blessings for Pita Gurudev, Rupanu, Guru Varg, Nama Nishta Santana, and all present, past, future Vaishnavas, all Dandavat Pranam. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So,
Dandavat Guru Maharaj.
Dandavat. So, now this is you know Purushottam Mass. Purushottam Mass is going on. So, Purushottam Mass is another another 10, 11 days is left. So it will be over. So whatever is left, I think we should all become serious about bhakti, because this is very, very precious for bhakti. Anyway, more precious than Kartik. Like we were telling you, in this month, Lord will not take any, He will not count any apradhas, He himself is running the whole affair. So he won't take any offenses. So it's very good for the and then 12th August is the Kamala Ekasi. And then 16th August, end of Purushottam. So then continues another 15 days of first Chaturmasya, So, and our Gurudev, actually, Ruth Bhagavatamritam, how we are continuing. It's so amazing scripture. The more you know, the more glories, starts revealing. So, anyway, I forgot where I left last night. But anyway, we'll summarize. Like the Brut Bhagavatamritam, there's two cantos, right? East and North. Two questions are there. Who is the highest recipient of Krishna's mercy? And what is the highest place of worship? Where his sweetness will be showed to the highest degree. So the first one Parikshit Maharaj answering Mother Uttara. Because she is not satisfied if Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, all the Vrajavasis end up in like some part of Vaikuntha, a Prakosta separate. She is not happy. Because is so exalted. Actually, we will see when you understand these two, why Uttara is so exalted. No one has asked this question before. So Parikshit Maharaj is telling. So he's telling Parikshit through the journey of Narad Muni. Narad Muni going from Haridwar, from a Brahmin who is honoring Saligram, worshipping Saligram, to all the way to the king, to the Indra, to Brahma, Lord Shiva, Prahlad, Hanuman, Pandavas, then Yadavas in Dwarka, then Uddhava, then to Gopis, and then to Radharani. So it ends in Radharani. So Radharani is the highest recipient. Krishna's mercy. Now the highest place. So for that, Parikshit is telling another history. Ancient time, a poor Brahmana who lacked any scriptural knowledge lived in Prajyotisha Pura. And he was praying to Kamakya Devi, Durga Devi, every day for wealth and opulence. Like generally, most of the people they pray. If they are poor or even otherwise, oh, I want more wealth, more opulence, material. So, but somehow she saw something special in his poor Brahmana, no knowledge of anything. He's like a baby, So, if the baby asks mother, oh mother, I want this, sweet this and that, What she will do is, the baby can become sick or maybe sick, So she will not give. She will, even if she gives, she will give some medicine inside. So same way, Kamakya Devi, Durga Devi, she did not give directly material wealth. Instead, she gave him a mantra, 10-syllable Gopal mantra, whose deity is Sri Madan Gopal. Now, this mantra is very, very powerful. Okay, by the time we end, we will see how powerful this Gopal. Of course, the one we chant is 18 syllables, which has Sambandha Videya Prayojana. Now, this will have only Prayojana. So she described about how to chant, and then she disappeared, telling, instructing, always chant. So he started chanting. By the power of that, because that mantra is spiritual, he lost his desire for wealth, and he became peaceful. Then what happened? Brahmana was ignorant. the effect is there, whether he knows or not, because he started chanting, the desire was finished, material desire. And but he was thinking, oh, there must be something else other than this mantra, and some goal, and then how to achieve that. So then what happened? Later on, he gave up everything, renounced everything, and then he went to Ganga Sagar. So in Ganga Sagar, there were Brahmins doing all kinds of, who knew knowledge, they were involved in karma kanda. So there they were telling the ritualistic activities to fulfill material desires and how one obtains heavenly pleasures. So because those Brahmins were so dedicated to that, he also started doing, developed a faith in those, but he was still continuing to chant the mantra. So because of that, his heart was not satisfied, what he was doing. See, this mantra brings about bhakti. So he is doing something ritualistic activities. It will not, you will not feel happy. Then he was not, he went to Kashi. He was not happy, Ganga Sagar. Went to Kashi. There, many sannyasis arguing, impersonal liberation, like that. There, but then what happened was, he got interested in them, but he was not happy. But he wanted to take sannyas and then one of life like that. But then what happened? The mantras presiding deity appeared to him in a dream. And the Madan Gopal, it was so beautiful, captured attention, heart, filled with so much bliss. So from then on, he felt, except for chanting this mantra, all other activities became tasteless. So then the Brahmana became confused about his duty. He cannot give up chanting now, and also the taste is gone, anything other than. But he was confused what to do now, because he was ignorant. So, of course, in that state, Lord Shiva appeared to him along with Devi, Samak Devi, and then ordered them, "You fool, don't stay here, in Kashi, don't stay, don't accept sannyas here. You go to Mathura. There, all your desire will be fulfilled." So hearing this, Brahmana, he left Mathura. But then on the way, he came to Prayag. Now, Prayag, that is the king of all pilgrimages. The lotus feet of Madhava is there, Sri Madhava. And then Yamuna meets Ganga. Also Saraswati comes from. So it's a holy place. People were gathered there. Even today, thousands of people gathered there, singing, dancing, chanting like that. They're worshipping. Different kind of thing going on. Then he started asking them because he does not know. Putting out their Vaishnavas and doing what, he has no exposure, no understanding. So, in a simple heart, he is asking, "Oh, people, what are you doing? What kind of noise you are making?" Like that. Some people thought he was crazy, but some Vaishnavas took pity on them. He said, "Don't speak like that. They are all Vaishnavas. Huh? They are doing according to their traditions. Hmm? They are all devotees of Sri Vishnu. Huh? We have accepted a spiritual teacher who have taken Diksha. So according to our respective mantras, we are worshipping Sri Vishnu appropriately. So, and some are worshipping Narsingadev, Lord Narsingadev, others Raghunathji Rama, and others Gopal Deva, like that. But then he is asking, where does your Parmeshwara reside? Where is what is his form? What benefit can he bestow, like that? Then Vaishnava is telling, our Lord is unconstrained by place, time, and matter. He always exists everywhere, residing inside and outside of everything. He is equally not to be found anywhere. So, but we are here, we are worshipping, he says, you should take shelter, you should take darshan of Madhava Deva. He is the exact form of the Lord of the entire Jagat Prabhu, and offer him obeisances. If you do this continually, you will quickly come to understand all these topics. And you stay here, listen to Harikatha like that. They advised him. Then, so according to their instructions, Vaishnavas, the Brahmana took darshan of Sri Madhava and bowed down to him. So he observed something, the deity Madhava has some similarity to the deity of his Ishtadeva, the Gopal mantra I was reciting, Madan Gopal. So whom he saw at the time of chanting the mantra. So, in this way, Brahmana heard portions of the Purana in the association of those Vaishnavas. In addition, he also took darshan of many Vishnu deities they were worshipping. But because of his ignorance, Brahmana did not develop complete knowledge. So, in other words, he was unable to fully comprehend the idea that my worshipable Lord is in truth non-different from Jagadishvara, Supreme Lord of the universe, from Sri Madhava, and from the deities worshipped by these Vaishnavas. He could not understand it, So, he was thinking there is difference, there is a different person. So, the worshipable Lord of these sadhus is indeed the Supreme Lord of the universe. who is also Sri Madhava. However, the personality I worship is someone else. You know. Now the deity of Lord Sri Madhava, four arms are decorated with conch shell, disc, club, and lotus. However, my worshipable Lord is not like him. Therefore, how can my Lord be Sri Madhava? See, his Lord is like a Gopa. Huh? Gopal. So, how can my Lord be Sri Madhava? How I can repose my faith for my worshipable deity in Sri Madhava? So, how to reconcile? So, that was the problem. Also, Hare Krishna. Dhana. Acha, Hare Krishna. Dhana. ठीक है वहाँ क्लास चल रहा है इसलिए So then he began to reflect. My Lord does not possess the half-man, half-line form. You know, it does not look like Narsinga. Nor does he possess the form of Vamana, Meena, Kurma, or Varaha. Huh? He's like a Gopal. Huh? So, my worshipable deity is also not Sri Raghava, who is endowed with bow and arrow. But my Lord certainly resembles Gopala Deva, who is worshipped by some of these Vaishnavas. Some of these Vaishnavas are also worshipping Gopal. So he said, it looks like that. However, my worshipable Lord does not look like Jagadishwara. From the narration in Magha Mahatma and other scriptures, I have heard about the characteristic of the Lord of the universe. And my Lord does not possess us. Damn, he's thinking. You know. So, decorated with forest flowers and playing on his flute, my worshipable deity takes the cows for grazing, going from forest to forest along with the covered paths. So, he forever roams about with the gopis, the covered dancers. Unlike an ordinary person, he transgresses religious principles. So he's thinking like that, you know. Although the qualities of being the Supreme Lord of the universe are not fully manifest in my Lord, still by the potency of the goddess, I derive happiness from worshipping him. See, even though he understands, the Gopal seems like he is not supreme, but because of the mercy of goddess, by chanting this mantra, somehow he feels more happy, more satisfied than any of the other forms. See, but he cannot understand. Gopal himself has become all the other forms. You know? So, the Brahmana made up his mind and began to chant his mantra as before, sitting in a secluded place. Now, because of the saintly association, Vaishnavas, he is now able to chant the mantra with a pure heart. And while chanting, he began to behold the deity of the mantra as if he was personally present. So, and then sometimes he used to fall unconsciousness. Then coming out, you would lament, oh, I did not properly chant like that. Why this disturbance is happening? You know, so very I stayed. Then, one day he fell asleep thinking like this. Then Madhava, Lord Madhava appeared to him one day in his dream and instructed him. Oh Brahmana, remember the words of Vishveshwara, the husband of Uma, Lord Shiva. And, Uma, not different from Katyayani, the Kamakya Devi. You should go to Vrindavan. Very easy to go. You follow the bank of Yamuna. You go to Vrindavan. There, Vrindavan, by my mercy, you will attain extraordinary joy. So do not stop or delay anywhere along the way. So like that is telling. Then, so gradually he followed, and then arrived at Mathura. There he took bath at the Vishram Ghat, famous. Yes. Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also took rest there. And he visited Mathura. Krishna also rested there. After killing Kamsa, So like that. So then he was going around Vrindavan, and then he had a spurti. Then he was very happy there. So he was going around. One day what happened was, he was continuing to chant his mantra, Gopal mantra. Became filled with joy. So he heard a sound of someone weeping there. I think this is where we stop or something. So near Keshi Ghat. So finally he followed the direction of the sound coming. Where is the weeping sound? Singing like that. Then he saw a covered boy. Very handsome, delicate. You dressed in a covered boy. After seeing him, this Brahmana took him, mistook for him his worshipable deity. He cried out, "Oh Gopala, oh Gopala!" He offered his prostrated obeisances, falling to the ground. So the covered boy was the crushed jewel of the omniscient personalities. So he understood by his external conscience that Brahmana's birthplace was Mathura, that he was a resident of the country of Kamakya Devi, and that he is a worshipper of Sri Madan Gopala. So that Gopakumara came out of the group, lifting this Brahmana, was fall on the ground, embraced him and sat by his side. Then, see, when you meet, first you have to somehow do the way, such a way that they will have faith in you, like a friend. So Gopakumara, like in India, the tradition was that. Suppose somebody comes from a distance to your house, as a somebody, relative or friend, somebody far away. Suddenly they have appeared. So immediately you don't ask them, why have you come here? What is the reason you have come? No. Don't ask him at all. First, you have to give him water, nice words. Are you okay? Your travel was effortless, or please take rest. So don't bring out that why he has come, the topic, why he has come. So it may that he will rest one day or one night. Next day morning, he has to reveal himself. You know, you should not inquire why you have come. No, that is not the tradition. Give some time, he gets adjusted, and then he tells. You know, so like that, the tradition. So similarly, this Brahma, the Gopakumara, uh, he gave appropriate hospitality. Then again, to gain Brahmana's confidence, because he is met first time, he is also meeting him first time. So you have to have confidence. So for that, Gopakumara narrated some of the Brahmana's experience to him. So, you went through like this, you went through like this. And you will have some faith. Oh, yes, he's telling all that. How did he know? He must be very advanced person, very spiritual. So, and a highly elevated saint, and the wisest of the wise men. So the Brahmana became humble and began to speak, modestly. So he's telling, on the bank of Ganga in Kashi and in other places, I have heard about many goals of life and many practices to achieve them. This is also our problem, our position. There are so many goals and so many practices. Nevertheless, I am unable to determine what is my spiritual goal and what means I should adapt to achieve it. This is what it is. Now we heard this, that, and then, but I am unable to determine what is my goal, what should be the goal, spiritual goal, and what means I should adapt to achieve it. I am ignorant about that. What is the nature of the religious practice that I engage every day as ordered by the goddess? What is the spiritual practice that I am chanting this Gopa mantra? I don't understand. What is its results? I am not even know the answers to these questions. See, he is sincere, simple, but he is revealing his mind because he understood Gopakumara is his best friend, well advanced. He should open up his mind. So honestly, he's asking, for this reason, I consider my birth useless and would like to die. The only reason I'm still alive is the mercy of the Sri Vishwanatha, Lord Shiva, and Bhagavan Sri Madhava. So, by their mercy, I met you. I am supremely happy because you resemble my worshipable Lord. Kindly deliver me. So you are omniscient and compassionate. I am extremely wretched and insignificant. It's like he's admitting, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, Arjuna accepting the low position and telling, please, Lord, you guide me. Now I'm totally confused. I don't know anything. I don't know what is good, what is bad, what to do, what not to do. Please don't give up on me, please, like that. So, Parikshit Maharaj is telling mother, when Brahmana's word, when these words that Gopkumar heard, then he said, What is Gopakumara thinking? You see, is how he's thinking. He's not thinking negative, Oh, this Brahmana has attained success and the fulfillment of his desire as well. See? Because he is chanting Gopal mantra. Even though he may not know, but he has come to the right place. So he is not that far. So he is explaining that. Now the Brahmana's only remaining need is to directly see Madhava, Madan Gopal, Deva's lotus feet. Therefore, it is not necessary that he keeps his attachment to the quiet solitary chanting of the mantra. Rather, he should develop exclusive attachment to Sri Nama Sankirtan, the singing and glorification of the names of the Lord. So, Nama Sankirtan. Now, he has so many doubts. So, to enlighten the Brahmana about this truth, what he should do, all that. Now, what is the best way I can? He'll be satisfied, completely satisfied. So, Gopakumara come to this conclusion. To enlighten the Brahmana about this truth, I shall first narrate to him about my entire life story, by which all his doubts will be eradicated. It's parallel story. I will tell my own story. My own realization I share with him. But some might say, object, wait a minute. He is trying to glorify himself. That is not right. That is not proper. That is improper, especially in spiritual realm, right? We should not glorify. We should not reveal our realization. Like that, there is a... But here, he says, no, I must reveal, because this is the only way. Why I am revealing? I have to reveal my thing. Not to glorify myself. No. That is the only way, because my path and looks like his path, very similar. I also same questions and all that. I was also in one time like that, not knowing anything. So I've gone through so many paths, this way, that way, this way. Then he has to go like that same way, it will be not fair. That's why if I relate the path that I took, all that, then he will realize quickly and then he will achieve his goal. He will be happy. So, to make spiritual progress for Brahmana, so Gopakumara is taking this risk of revealing his own experience, his own path that he went. Not out of envy, out of compassion, out of love. To benefit this living entity, this Brahmana. And he is fortunate because he has obtained Gopal mantra. And thing is, he does not know anything else. So I should enlighten him. The only way is telling my own path. Then he will definitely, he has a feeling like that. So he started telling, coming to this conclusion. So Gopakumara said, to answer your questions, there are so many historical accounts on this, but I will relate only my personal experience. I shall certainly recount all those experiences that I realized in my natural condition. In regard to those that took place during my state of ecstasy, I will first remember them. and then relate them to you as well. No? So this is the thing. So Gopakumara is telling his past. Very similar. Huh? So he's telling, I hope you have not lost, okay, what I'm telling. It's very beautiful, Really, there are so many truths about this. So much we can learn. Huh? So you have to bear with me till we come to one point. Oh, best of the Brahmanas. See, now Gopakumara is telling his past. Oh, Brahmana, best of the Brahmana. I am a resident of Govardhan. Huh? My father is a cow herder, belong to the mercantile community that is occupied in tending cows, which is taking care of cows. Just as I am a child now, similarly, even in my childhood, in the past, I used to graze the cows with other boys, same age. Huh? We took them pasturing within the Mathura area on the banks of Sri Yamuna and Govardhan, and also here in Sri Vrindavan. So he is telling he was from Govardhan area and he was taking cows for pasturing. So what happened? While tending the cows every day in the forest, we would observe an exalted Brahmana of divine appearance. These boys have seen the exalted Brahmana and who is renowned, who wander here and there, singing Sri Krishna's holy names, like a mad person, singing Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, unaware of anything else. Who is watching, how, where he is walking, like that. At times he would be observed in chanting or in meditation. And at other times, like a madman, he would dance, sing, laugh, and even roar. Or else he would fall to the ground and roll, wailing loudly. Sometimes he would fall as if he were unconscious. The saliva drooling from his mouth, the mucus dripping from his nose, and the tears streaming from the eyes would make the cow's trail wet and muddy. Sometimes, in an unconscious state, he would lie still as if dead. Very advanced state, he lost himself, singing sweetly glories of Lord's name. Being children, so these coward boys, they were children. We were naturally curious and always go to watch him. However, knowing we were covered boys, he would bow down to us with great devotion. See, he was bowing down to these boys, thinking they are covered boys. Sometimes he would tightly embrace us and lovingly kiss us all over, considering us like his beloved friends. It would become difficult for him to easily give up our company. He doesn't want to, you know, go away from these boys, covered boys company. So this Gopakumara is telling. So I rendered some service to that exalted Brahmana by offering him milk, which is the nectar of the cows, and other such things. One day he spotted me alone on the bank of Yamuna. One day he spotted me. He found I'm alone, and being pleased with me, he used to feed him milk and other things. So he said he embraced that Brahmana and talked to him like that. My dear child, if you want the fulfillment of all desires, no, he's telling, you want to fulfill all your desires, huh? You bathe in this Keshi Ghat here, huh? Keshi Ghat, and accept from me this mercy of Sri Jagadisha, the Supreme Lord. I'm going to give something, the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Huh? Take a bath in Keshi Ghat. So, every desire of that Brahmana was already fulfilled, and he did not earn for any sense objects. The Brahmana was not after any objects to satisfy its senses, no. He was the crushed jewel of the kind-hearted, and therefore, so this Gopakumara is telling, after my death, he instructed me in the same mantra you have also received. See, he instructed in the Gopal mantra. He gave him the Gopal mantra, same mantra that he have received. Gopakumara is telling the Brahmana, this Brahmana. So now that Brahmana got the mantra from Kamakya Devi. You understand? This Gopakumara got it from a Brahmana in Mathura, Govardhan area. So now this Gopakumara is telling, oh, what happened? Something happened. While instructing me in the process of worshipping the mantra, as soon as he mentioned the object of one's meditation while chanting this mantra, see this, each mantra has a precising deity. So he was trying to as soon as he mentioned the name of the object of one's meditation while chanting this mantra, he began to weep piteously in divine love, like an aggrieved woman separated from her husband. Then he fell unconscious. He wanted it. He had so much love for Gopal. He wanted to telling about Gopal. He could not utter name like that, and he fell unconscious. So much. When he regained consciousness, out of fear, I was unable to question him any further. I could not ask, oh Gurudev, please continue. Explain me what to do, how to chant, or what is the process, this mantra. I could not because out of fear, he was unconscious, he got up now. So I couldn't do that. So what happened? He then, he got up, left in a distressed mood. He just went away. After that, I did not see him again. I got only mantra, but details I did not get it. And I tried to look for him everywhere, I could not find him. So, it looks like this Brahmana was aggrieved because divine love or prema had manifested in his heart, and therefore in his ecstasy he had become aggrieved. So what to do? He has gone somewhere, I cannot find him. I began to deeply ponder. What have I received? Is this a song or a mantra? See, this Gopal Kumara is telling, he did not know. Is a mantra or a song, what it can bestow? If this is a mantra, how should I practice? I could not understand anything regarding these subject matter. No, completely not aware anything. Just as one performs an act simply out of curiosity, out of respect for the Brahmana's words, I went to a solitary place and began to continuously chant only that mantra. So I started chanting that Gopal mantra that he received. That mantra, he does not even know that it's Gopal mantra also. Some mantra. So, by the influence of that exalted personality, as soon as I began chanting in this way, my heart became purified and I developed faith in this mantra. See, that is the power of mantra. As soon as he started chanting, it purified him, heart became, and obviously developed faith in the mantra. Thereupon, remembering the Brahmana's words, I concluded that by means of this mantra, I would attain Sri Jagadishvara, the Supreme Lord of the Universe. I was thus satisfied and began to chant it constantly. So I got more interest in chanting. In that. What is the nature of Supreme Lord of the Universe? When will I see him? Possessed by the desire to know this, one day I renounced Om and went to the bank of river Jannavi, Ganga. See, by chanting and chanting, what happened? He developed renunciation from the family and all that. He left home, went to Ganga, river Ganga. So there, hearing the distant sound of a conch shell, I followed it to its source on the bank of Ganga. There I saw a Brahmana worshipping Sri Saligram Shila and I bowed to him. So he went to the Ganga there and he saw there was a conch shell blowing, right? After doing Arati, the end, we blow a conch shell. And how long you hear that sound, that conch shell, it's get purified. The bacteria will not be there and so many, health. It benefits are there. The conch shell, blowing is not ordinary, So, so he went to Ganga. He left his home, resigned, and went to the Ganga. And there he saw a Brahmana worshipping Saligrama. And then he paid obeisances to him, and asked him, "Oh Master, who are you worshipping?" He does not know what is Saligram, what is deity. See, totally. So he's asking, "Oh Master, what are you worshipping? Who are you worshipping? Who are you worshipping?" Hearing my words, he smiled and replied, "Oh child, this is Jagadishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do you know this? Do you know not? Do you not know this?" So, like that. Don't you know this? Saligrama is Supreme Personality of God, not different from him. He does not even know what is Saligram. No? So, Saligram, by the way, are self-manifest. Okay? It is in Gandaki river near part. You will be amazed the shape of this Saligram. You will be amazed. There are so many in our place. Huh? Ah. So when I heard this, I experienced the same joy a poor man feels upon suddenly attaining immense wealth, or same happiness a person feels upon meeting a long lost friend. When he heard he is Jagadishwara, no, not different, no, Saligram. So immediately this covered boy, this Gopakumara, felt so much joy, and then he paid obeisances to it. I gazed with faith upon Jagdishwara, and then I repeatedly prostrated before him. Brahmana mercifully gave me the Lord's sacred flower garland and Charanamrita, the holy water that has been used to bathe the Lord. He gave Charanamrita and all that. Then, after finishing the rituals of his worship, when the Brahmana was ready to go home, he led the Lord of the universe to rest in a small box. Seeing this, I became very upset. Weeping, I began to lament. You know, see, usually people put this small saligram into a box after worship and carefully close it and then take it, right? Reverential. Now, when this covered, this Gopakumara saw this happening, he started crying, weeping, very upset. Because he's saying, alas, alas, he has shut my Lord Jagadishwara in a wooden box. He has put my Lord Jagadishwara in a wooden box. What is this? And he shut, close him. The Lord has not eaten anything. How will he sleep if he is hungry? See, this Brahma, this Gopakumara, he's feeling, see, he's identifying he is my Supreme Lord. But again, when Brahmana put it in a box and then closed, he said, oh, he has put down my worshipable Supreme Master like that, and he did not feed him. And how he will sleep with empty stomach, you know. So he's crying. So he's telling, oh exalted Brahmana of Mathura, I really did not know if apart from this Saligrama manifestation of the Supreme Lord, whether any other manifestation of the Lord was also present somewhere else. He did not know anything. Seeing my distress and helpless weeping, the revered Brahmana consoled me. Full of humility and feeling ashamed, he spoke. Ashamed, he spoke. Now he's telling, you shut him down, not fed him properly. How he will sleep? Hungry. So, Brahmana is telling, oh young Vaishnava, I'm a poor man. What more can I do than this? Only food I can offer to Jagadishwara are the meals I prepare for myself. So, what else I can do? I'm a poor. Whatever I cook for myself, I'm offering that. If you are eager to see, then Brahmana is telling, see, I have to go. This is my worship is on. But if you really want to see Jagadishwara, he's telling, worship with opulence and great festival, then go to the capital of this kingdom, which is located nearby. There is a capital nearby. And if you really want to see how Jagadishwara is worshipped, there the king is an esteemed saint and is very fond of worshipping the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. There directly, behold the Supreme Lord, whose darshana is very rarely attained. You will experience all varieties of joy and your heart will be filled with immense happiness. But now come to my house and accept some prasada offered to Sri Vishnu, he says. Then this Gopakumara is telling me, I became overjoyed to hear the Brahmana's words, and although I was hungry, I did not go to his home. So I offered obeisances to the Brahmana, and following the path he had pointed out, finally reached that capital city. The Brahmana is telling, okay, you go to this capital city, there you will see the king worshipping so much. He's offering himself. So, like that. Then what happens? In the heart of the city, there was a lot of sound, tumultuous sound of Sri Jagadishwara's ceremonial worship was emanating from the Lord's temple. Hearing that magnificent sound from afar, I inquired from the local people about his source. So he's asking, other people, where I can see Jagadishwara being worshipped by the king. So nicely I have heard about this. So inquiring like that, he came to know, and he came to take darshan of Bhagavan Jagadishwara. Since nobody stopped him or questioned him at the gate, so he immediately entered the temple very quickly. There I beheld the four-armed Lord of the universe. So, holding conch shell, disc, club and lotus. So this is what happened. All his limbs were exquisitely beautiful. So he is now explaining the deity. All his limbs were exquisitely beautiful. Very beautiful. His complexion was like a fresh rain cloud. And he was wearing yellow silk cloth. His splendid, youthful form was decorated with a garland of forest flowers and golden ornaments. His face was radiant like the full moon, with a gentle smile that showered the nectar of immortality. Eyes that were like lotus petals, and fascinating eyebrows that were raised playfully. So, then, so Sri Jagadishwara was being worshipped with a variety of rare paraphernalia by many servants who were eagerly and devotedly serving him. Adorned in various gorgeous garments, he was splendidly enthroned on a magnificent throne. He was put him on an amazing throne. A grand festival of dancing and singing was being performed before him. And the Lord was watching the festival with unblinking eyes. So, seeing the Lord, I became overwhelmed with great joy and prostrated before him repeatedly. I thought, today my long-lasting desire to see the Lord has finally been fulfilled. Gopakumara said, my desire was fulfilled at the end, at last. So at that time, I considered my life successful and decided that I would never leave that place to go elsewhere. Then, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, I happily took up residence there. So he started living there in the city, capital city of the king, officially. So, so then what happened? So there I daily accepted Bhagwan's Vishnu's Mahaprasad, viewed the great festival of his ceremonial worship, and listened to the glories of worshipping him. And all the while continuing to diligently chant the mantra of my worshipable deity while sitting in private. So he has not given up chanting Gopal mantra. That's also going on this. Now, what happened? Even though he is very happy seeing all these things, festivity going on, they are serving him a full prasadam and then giving place like. Even then, because he was chanting Gopal mantra, Brahmana is telling Gopaku, oh Brahmana, even though I was chanting Gopal mantra, the beauty of the land of Vraja and the happiness of playing with the covered boys did not leave my heart. My heart was always crying, the beauty of Vraj. And all the covered people I was playing there. Rather, those memories always remained awake within me. Missed like that. Passing some days there in great happiness, witnessing the worship of Jagadishvara, I also developed great eagerness to perform that method of worship. So I wanted to do worship like that, staying there for a long time. So he wanted to worship like the king is worshipping, right? So what happened? The king of that land had no son. He had no son. And although I am a foreigner, having come from another land, and seeing that I have a amicable disposition and other good qualities, the king loved him. Because the king had no children, so he loved this boy, covered boy. He adopted me as his son. So he adopted me as his son, and soon after that he left this world. So thus I effortlessly inherited the kingdom. I joyfully commenced worship of Sri Vishnu with even greater pomp and grandeur than before. Then, in addition, every day I fed many saintly persons with Sri Vishnu's Mahaprasada. Although engaged in this way, I did not develop attachment to anything and remained as renounced as before. Even though he was doing all these things, service, he did not develop attachment to anything. But he was chanting. He would complete chanting mantra in a solitary place. And then accept only the Lord's prasada. So, although I had divided the kingdom appropriately, he came from somewhere else. King loved him, adopted him as his son. King left his world, now he became a king. But he was not attached to the kingdom. He was doing even much more grandeur arrangements. And he divided the kingdom among the king's family members, relatives and friends. Even though I delegated so many things, but due to my connection with the kingdom, I suffered distress in so many ways. See, he's very nicely he's telling. See, Sanatana, very amazing. It is not that you become a king and you become happy. See, he's telling this. Sometimes I was fearful of why? Of other kingdoms and their kings. Because fearful of other kingdom, because they might come and attack you, do all this nonsense. Other times, obliged as I was as a subordinate king, to comply with the sovereign emperor's many edicts. I suffered distress of being dependent on others. See? Before Gopakumara, he was happy, not to reason. Now, as becoming a king, no happiness. See. Overseeing the temple services, I would become distraught when I would notice that if anyone touched the food offered to the Supreme Lord or took it outside the temple, then some respectable people questioning its purity would refuse to accept it. Observing people's skepticism towards prasada caused me excruciating pain, as if a dagger has pierced my heart. So, this boy is exalted, but he is having even the king now, the thing is worry, is bothering him is this prasadam. If somebody touches this improperly and king is feeling, no, I should not. And some people doubt, oh, we should take this prasada or not, like that. Observing people's skepticism towards prasada caused me excruciating pain, as if a dagger had pierced my heart. See, you will feel like that if somebody says, yeah, prasad, what? Mahaprasad. No, Lord's mercy, they don't know. But it will hurt us if somebody like that says, it will really hurt. That's why he was feeling if a dagger had pierced his heart. Many such reasons made very strongly apathetic towards the kingdom. But still he was losing faith or think the kingdom. But because he was seeing the Lord now and then, direct darshan, it made him unable to leave. Could not leave. He's caught between. Sometimes I should leave, sometimes he cannot. Like that. So, at this time, what happened? Some great Vaishnavas from the south who were touring the holy places came there and spoke to me as follows. Some tourists from South India came there and talking to this boy, this king. Oh, king, this. In Sri Purushottama Kshetra, Jagannath Puri, on the blue mountain known as Nilachala, on the shore of the salt ocean, the Supreme Lord of the universe, Sri Jagannatha, is radiantly present as Daru Brahma. Daru Brahma meaning the absolute truth in the form of wood. Absolute truth in the form of wood. Daru Brahma. He can make impossible possible. So, Krishna. So, now these Brahmanas who came from there, some Vaishnavas who came from Jagannath Puri explaining him how famous, how great the Jagannath Puri is, Purushottam. Exceptionally opulent and powerful, Sri Jagannath Deva personally protects the kingdom of Utkala, personally revealing his glories and showering mercy on his servitors. He is their affectionate guardian. He is very affectionate devotee. There, Lakshmi Devi personally makes arrangement and cooks for him. Lakshmi herself cooks for him. That is true even today. The most merciful Lord himself relishes those preparations and then grants his remnants to the devotees. Obtaining those remnants is extremely rare even for the demigods. These remnants of the Lord are known as Mahaprasada. Mahaprasada is beyond consideration of whether anyone has touched it or not touched it. Even though touched by any person or taken anywhere, anyone can honor it without question. See, this is amazing. The prasada, glories of prasada. So the form of the Lord's mercy is called Mahaprasada. Since the nectar of the Lord's lips has touched this Mahaprasada, it is famous as being supremely rare even for the demigods. Anyone can accept Mahaprasada without apprehension, for it never loses its spiritual potency, even if touched by the lowest class of person or by an unknown person. Mahaprasada may be taken anywhere, even to a distant land. That is to say, even if it is taken to an unfit or impure place, still it can be taken without any consideration. So, the purpose of saying without any consideration is that Mahaprasada is transcendental to all considerations of purity or impurity, proper and improper time, untouched or touched by an unfit or unknown person, and so on. Mahaprasada's divinity and glory never diminishes. And its spiritual potency is never destroyed for any reason. Therefore, everyone can honor it without consideration. See, prasadam, so many things. So, actually, one time, it happened in Bangalore, brought one prasadam. It was little stale or something. So I gave her. She's saying, no, no matter prasad, whatever shape it may look, it will smelly or this and get bad. No, it will never go bad. You can wash it and I will take. She was so reverentially accepted it. I was amazed. So some people have know this. So we should have that attitude. So by accepting even completely dry, stale Mahaprasada, prepared long before and brought from a distant land, All sins are very easily dissipated and one obtains bhakti. But if we accept it, one that. Even if Mahaprasada is touched by a low class person, an outcast, or persons of mixed caste, outside the four social divisions, it never loses its potency. See, because it's spiritual. Rather, by accepting that Mahaprasada, all types of sins are destroyed. O king, when even the most impure person becomes sanctified by the touch of Mahaprasada, how can Mahaprasada become contaminated by contact? See, this is the thing, you understand. Mahaprasada, if you touch Mahaprasada, you get purified. Suppose there is a so-called unfit person. If it touches him, he gets purified, he becomes pure. Then how it will become impure? Persons desiring liberation should eat Mahaprasada as soon as they receive it, abandoning all rules regarding time, observance of vows of austerity like Chandrayana fast, etc. Oh, the glories of Mahaprasada. So those sadhus continued telling, oh, how can we possibly describe the glories of Purushottama Kshetra? See, they have come from Puri, Jagannath Puri, Purushottama Kshetra. They are describing this to the king, right? This Gopakumara has become a king, you remember? So, how can we describe? Even a donkey entering that abode attains a four-armed form. And anyone who enters that region never has to take birth again. It says all that. Here is another wonder that I had never heard before. The lives of all people become crowned with success simply by saying Sri Jagannatha Deva, whose eyes resemble full-blown lotus. If you see him, Lord Jagannath, your life becomes crowned with success. Hearing these glories of Sri Jagannath Deva, I became restless with desire to see him. He became restless. So immediately, very moment, I renounced everything and left for the province of Utkala, performing Nama Sankirtan. See, this Gopakumara immediately leaves the kingdom in south and then goes to Jagannath Puri. Shortly I reached Sri Purushottam Kshetra, where I prostrated before all the residents of that holy abode. Then by the mercy of the saintly person, I entered the interior of the temple. Then from a distance, I saw Purushottama Deva, who bestows joy upon everyone. His moon-like face was beautified by wide lotus eyes, and a tilaka made of jewels shone on his forehead. His complexion resembled a resplendent rain cloud, and his reddish lips were luminescent. His gentle smile, radiant like moonshine, enhanced the exquisiteness of his countenance and showered unlimited mercy on everyone. So he is describing when he saw Jagannath first time. I was eager to go near Sri Jagannath but was unable to walk forward. My mind had become helplessly deprived of will, and due to ecstatic love, all my limbs were trembling. My hairs stood erect, and I lost control of my body as tears blocked my vision. With great difficulty, I somehow caught hold of Garuda pillar and stood there. No? He was looking at taking darshan of Jagannath, he was totally lost. From that very spot, I saw the Lord. His bluish form, smeared with sandalwood pulp, was bedecked with divine clothes, ornaments, and garlands. Sitting playfully on a throne, he was accepting huge amounts of foodstuffs. Very beautiful. Thus, he was increasing the joy in the minds and eyes of those who were seeing him. No? He was taking foodstuff offered. He was lovingly glancing at the people singing, playing musical instruments, dancing, offering prayers, bowing down, and so on before him. When I saw the wonderful appearance of Sri Jagannath Deva, the refuge of infinite glories, I fell unconscious to the ground. After some time, I regained consciousness and opened my eyes. Beholding the Lord, I became maddened and rushed to embrace him. You know, he got up and wanted to embrace Jagannath. Running ahead, I cried out, "Today my life has been crowned with success. I have finally come before that supreme person whom I have so long desired to see. Today I have obtained my Lord, Sri Jagadishwara, the Lord of the universe." As soon as I moved forward to embrace the Lord, the doorkeepers beat me with chains, barring me from entering inside. See, it happens in Jagannath. You cannot go and embrace the Lord. No, Pandas will. There will be one with canes. Actually, anybody going there taking darshan, he hits on your head. There is a tradition there. But if you try to break this thing going on, they will beat with the canes. But I felt ashamed and I considered being stopped in this manner to actually be the mercy of the Lord. He was taken out. When I went outside, I received Mahaprasada without even asking for it. See? Because he did not complain, even though he got hit and all that. He said, that is the right punishment for me. I transgressed my thing. So he felt happy, joyful. Yes, I was. So as soon as he got out, without he asking, someone gave him Mahaprasad. I quickly took the Mahaprasad and re-entered the Supreme Lord's temple. O Brahmana. He could not stop. Took prasad and entered again. The bliss and wonder at what I saw that time could not be contained in my heart. So how can I possibly describe it in words? In this way, I would spend the whole day in the temple and would experience complete ecstasy. Only at night would I leave the temple. After that, the grand festival ritual of gorgeously decorating the deities was completed. And Pushpanjali, the offering of palmfuls of flowers, was performed. In this way, in the association of saintly Vaishnavas, I witnessed every new festival and did not realize how much time had passed. I almost forgot my pain of separation from the land of Raja. I was totally blissed out in Jagannath Puri. Almost forgot Raja. So, but what happened? He has heard, I often heard from others how Sri Jagannath Deva is especially merciful towards his servitors. I also personally perceived this. So, he's saying, this Gopakumar, I never acquired a taste for anything other than gazing upon Sri Jagannath Deva. Even when the Panditas sang the glories of the Lord from the Puranas, I felt no desire to hear them. If I experience any physical or mental distress, it would disappear immediately upon seeing the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord. You know, any physical or mental distress experience, taken darshan Jagannath is finished. You know? So then, considering that I had already received the ultimate fruit of chanting my mantra, I gradually became indifferent even towards chanting it. In this way, I happily resided there for a long time. So, that's what happened. Thereafter, what happened? I began to earn to perform some intimate service to the Lord. He's saying every day, then he feels, no, I should do some intimate service to the Lord. So I also began to experience deep anguish in my heart when this desire was not fulfilled. See, when you have that desire, want to serve him personally, close by, but so many impediments, he is not a panda, so impediment. So he became unrest huh? In his heart. So what happens is the king of that country, Jagannath Puri, was Sri Jagannatha's chief servitor. He is a servitor. Chief. On occasions of grand festivals, when he arrived there for darshana of Sri Bhagavan, elaborate arrangements were made to protect the saintly person from disturbance and guard him from damage. Due to this, the poor common folks like me would not be able to view the Lord freely. When the king comes and sings, common people cannot see easily. Due to such concerns, I started to become despondent. However, one day, quite unexpectedly, I saw my Gurudeva in front of Sri Jagannath Dev, overwhelmed in the highest ecstatic state of love of God. So what happened? One day, he saw his own Guru in front of Jagannath. He is immersed in ecstatic love. See, remember how this exalted Brahmana, it gave him the mantra at Keshi Ghat and then became unconscious, then he could not see him again. Now we are seeing that Guru, Brahmana, exalted Guru in front of Jagannath, but he is immersed in ecstatic love. So at that time I could not speak with him. Furthermore, my mind was also so absorbed in seeing the divine face of Jagannath. Then I did not notice my Gurudeva left and went somewhere. Gurudeva left and went somewhere. After that, I tenaciously, great care, I searched for him everywhere. All of a sudden, one day, what happened? I found him dancing alone by the shore of the ocean, steeped in the bliss of singing the holy name of the Lord. He's singing the holy name of the Lord. So I approached him and prostrated myself before him. Seeing me, my omniscient Gurudeva benedicted me and embraced me. He understood my heart's concern, mercifully instructed me as follows. O child, with whatever resolve, he's telling, O child, whatever resolve we chant this mantra by its power, not only will those desires be fulfilled, but your desires in excess of that aspiration will also be fulfilled. All your desires, more than that will be fulfilled easily. Don't give up this chanting of this mantra. So, and he is telling, know that chanting this mantra is also service to Sri Jagannatha Deva. Chanting this mantra is also service to the Lord. Don't neglect. Thus have faith in my words and never give up chanting of this mantra. See? Even though he did not tell, Guru knew and he instructed him like that. May you live long by the power of chanting this mantra. May you always remain in this form of a covered boy. May your mind become fit to experience the result of chanting the mantra. Or in other words, fit to directly see Sri Madana Gopala Deva and experience all his playful pastimes. See, the Guru blessed him like that. Sometimes he will see me here and sometimes in Sri Vrindavan. In this way, Gurudeva instructed me and then suddenly went elsewhere. See? Then Guru disappeared. Feeling the pain of separation from Sri Gurudeva, I became very distraught and entered the temple to see Jagannath Deva. I then became peaceful and began to diligently observe myself in chanting the mantra. So, now what is happening? Whenever I felt a great eagerness to see the land of Raja, then by Sri Jagannatha's glorious grace, the gardens of Jagannath Puri would appear to my vision as Vrindavana, the ocean as Sri Yamuna, and the slopes of Niladri, Tataka Parvata, and other places as those of Govardhana. See, you got the vision. Gardens as forest, Vrindavan forest. Then ocean as Yamuna, and the slopes of this Niladri is Govardhan. Actually, Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati is when he started Mat, he said this is on the Govardhan, Chataka Parvat. He also named it like that. In this manner, I started to live happily in Purushottama Kshetra. And in accordance with Sri Gurudeva's order, every day after darshan of Sri Jagannath Deva, I chanted my mantra to achieve my desired perfection. See what happens here. Shortly thereafter, the king of Puri passed away. His eldest son, the king had an eldest son. But what happened? His eldest son, being very detached from worldly affairs, did not accept the kingdom. His eldest son should become the king, but he had no interest. So the ministers of the kingdom then prayed to Sri Jagannath Deva, who should be crowned as the next king. Hearing their prayer, Sri Jagannath Deva instructed them in a dream that only the person whose body bears signs of royalty should be installed on the throne. Thereafter, the ministers, observing marks of royalty on my person, anointed me as their king. See, see, this Gopakumara became king of Jagannath Puri. Remember, he had a desire to go and personally serve Jagannath. See, understand? It was obstructed, but Guru told him, any desire will be fulfilled by this mantra. So he started chanting, and then again, you see, his desire was to serve personally. Now he became a king and he got that, see, Abba, how powerful this mantra is, is amazing. After becoming king, I improved the standard of Sri Jagannath Deva's various festivals. Year around, 12 grand monthly festivals, such as Dola Yatra, are celebrated. Among those, I especially expanded the great festival known as Gundicha Mahayatra, Rath Yatra, to a much greater extent. See, Gundicha, Rath Yatra, no, he expanded that. At the time of that festival, Gundicha Yatra, almost all the saintly persons and Vaishnavas from all over the world assembled in Kurukshetra, in Purushottama Kshetra. According to rules of their own spiritual lineage, they danced and sang in front of the Lord. either in groups or individually. They could then be seen becoming maddened in divine love. I offered the kingdom and all royal opulences at Sri Jagannath Deva's lotus feet. See? Even though in the king, he offered everything to Jagannath lotus feet. Now being without material possessions, I began to serve him as I desired. See? His desire was fulfilled. Bah, what a amazing thing. Sri Jagannath Deva would sometimes engage in jolly talks, smiling and joking with his beloved regular servitors and would perform various loving pastimes with them. Thus engaged in this loving play, the frolicsome Lord would sometimes become perfectly motionless. His servitors, becoming astonished at this wonder, would follow in the mood of those pastimes and thus attain supreme bliss. Sometimes I also would want to participate in those pastimes of laughing and joking with the Lord. But I would think, oh, I'm just a newcomer, and besides, I'm not exclusively devoted to Him. How then can I become the recipient of His special mercy? When I thought about the good fortune of the Utkala devotees in my heart, I hankered to also receive it. However, this desire also caused distress to my mind. Why is that? He's telling. Whenever I heard Nam Sankirtan, recitation of stotras and devotional songs performed before Bhagavan Sri Jagannath Deva, memories of Mathura would flood my mind, making me restless with yearning. And hearing all these glories, he was thinking Mathura was coming to his mind. However, by the influence of saintly association and by seeing lotus-eyed Jagannath, all my grief and desire to go anywhere else would vanish. So sometimes he wants to go there, sometimes it disappears. So this thing was going on in his mind. However, due to my connection with the affairs of the kingdom in my heart, I would not experience the complete joy of darshan of Bhagavan that I used to experience naturally in the past. Before he was not a king, he was experiencing so much joy. Now he is a king, but he cannot experience. Always surrounded. Why? By royal entourage and unable to do as I pleased. I could not fully enjoy the yatras and other such grand festivals. Moreover, in spite of engaging in devotional service in so many ways, I did not experience complete happiness. See, if you think, oh, I'm wealthy, become king, I can do service and feel happy. You see, this is what happens. So I placed the burden of the kingdom on the sons, relatives, and ministers of the previous king. He gave up all the governing the kingdom to his relatives, right? And I became as uninvolved and indifferent as before. Because I was chanting my mantra in a solitary place, my mind remained peaceful, and I began to live there, serving Sri Jagannatha's lotus feet as I desired. However, because the citizens continued to respect and honor me, I did not feel the happiness I felt before. Because even though he handed over everything royal, but he's still a king. People are thinking like that. Therefore, I began to feel indifferent to living there. So, early one morning, I came before Sri Jagannath Deva, intending to take his permission to go to Sri Vrindavan. Oh, as soon as I saw his lotus face, I forgot everything. I wanted to go to Mathura, Vrindavan, and he wanted to take permission of Jagannath, but as soon as he saw Jagannath, he forgot. In this way, 1 year went by. Then one day I heard news of Mathura from some people who had come from there. See, some people came from Mathura to visit Jagannath. No? So, after hearing those descriptions, they were telling about Mathura Vrindavan. I was tormented by distress and grief and fell asleep that night. You know, now what to do? I stay here, go to Mathura. This, dwindle. Huh? As I was sleeping, Sri Jagannath Deva, who is pained by the suffering of others, gave me the following order. You know, Jagannath came in the dream. He said, "O Gopanandana, O coward boy, just as this holy abode is dear to me, so is Sri Mathura. But since Mathura is my birthplace, it is even more dear to me. Mathura is adorned with the places of my childhood pastimes. Just as I reside here, I also reside there. So, why are you always lamenting and your mind always wavering? Go to Mathura, and when the time is right, you will surely see my form as a coward boy." The Lord Jagannath himself is telling. The next morning, Sri Jagannath Deva's Pujari came to my residence and gave me the Lord's flower garland, which indicated the Lord's order to go to Mathura. See? Next day, Brahmana comes and gives him a garland, Jagannath. So he considers as his order. Huh? Wearing that garland around my neck, I took darshan of Sudarshan Chakra on top of the Lord's temple. Prostrating before it, I departed from Sri Purushottama Kshetra and came to Mathura. See? So he didn't even enter the temple. Because looking at chakra, Sudarshan Chakra was good as. And then he left to Mathura. So our time is up. We will continue. Now, what I was, this is really amazing, scripture. Bah, see. See, look at the glories of chanting the Gopal mantra. Amazing. That's why we need to chant that regularly. Don't neglect it. Okay. Very, very powerful. Our Gurudev used to say, his Guru used to say, Bhakti Prajnankeshan. You don't need anything. If you keep chanting this Gopal mantra, you will achieve everything. Like that. So there's so much, but time is up. I was going to tell. Now, if you have any questions on this, next Thursday you can actually send it. We'll spend more time on questions. Looks like it's getting 1 or 2 questions. Should take more. But the last time was very interesting question, because see it happens, See, people have spent money on us. We think, right? Education, upbringing, so that. Now suddenly, now we are interested in bhakti. You don't want to pursue the material path, right? Progress. Now question comes, feeling guilty, right? Is that the right thing I'm doing? They are expecting so much, right? Expectations, Even in my own life, okay, I will tell you. I was, brought up in India, educated and all that. I went to West, got doctorate, and then so my, the father and other thing. Oh, now maybe he will invite me to America. Some expectation. You bring lot of money. I ended up nothing. I joined, spiritual, ISKCON, and so their dream was shattered. Okay, understand? Their dream was shattered because they are expecting so many things. Now, did I do it right or wrong? Tell me. Actually, I did the right thing because years later, my father, he met me and he said, I had so much expectation, this, that, but I will tell you now, you did the best thing now. After, see, maybe 30, 40 years later, 30 years later. Because he realized, some realize. Immediately they don't realize. They will feel the pain. Oh, I spent so much money. And so why? See, first of all, they are not spending their money. Try to understand this. Because in a previous life, you were, as a parent, you have spent money on them. I'm giving just possibility. Okay. You have spent your thing. You paid them. Now they are giving back to you what they got in the previous life. You understand what I'm saying? They are not giving their own new thing. What you gave them, they are returning in this life. Previous life, what they took from you, they are returning it. That means what? They are returning your own money. So don't get stuck with that. Oh, they have paid me and all that. I should pay back, or it's not fair. Don't think like that. Yes, we should pay them back, but pay what? Bhakti. You become, at least Kanishta Bhakta, then they will be delivered from this world. Otherwise, how many lifetime they have to keep on dragging, from one life to another and all, suffering, right? Try to understand, in this world, nobody is happy. At least have you realized that? In material life, nobody is happy. You think king is happy, president is happy? They are more miserable. Like in this one, Gopakumar is telling, So, we are doing the best. The best is when you become a devotee. Even though it may look like going against your own relatives, father, mother, husband, wife, whatever. Don't think like that. Don't think that they are, spend so much money, their expectation, yes, Don't feel guilt with that. Actually, no one is giving you anything. They are only instruments. Looks like that, but actually they are giving back what you owe them, what they owe to you. That means you have deposited, like I was telling you, in your previous life, you have deposited wealth in your account, and that's all you are drawing from that account. No one is giving you their wealth. Understand? You are getting your own wealth. It seems like it is coming through somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what it is. So don't have that guilty feeling. Oh, same way. Now we are depositing whatever. We are giving it to others. See, we are giving it to others also. So many ways. Donation, this and that. Again, in a material way. So that good deed get deposited in your new bank, future bank, karma, and you will draw that in the next life. Okay. But who is giving? It will be given through somebody. Understand? Say, suppose in a bank, you have deposited money in your bank account, right? Now you go, how do you receive it? You go to the bank and the cashier gives the money to you, right? You write a check, cashier gives. Now, is the cashier is giving his money to you? He is giving your own money, but he is giving. We cannot go and take money from the bank. You can understand? It has to be passed through the cashier. It has to be approved by the manager, right? Understand? The cashier is giving the money. So the cashier is giving his money. He is giving your money, but so he is not concerned. Okay, understand? So like that we should think. Okay, which is real. These are all, cashiers. They are all not giving me their money like that. So we will continue. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Jai Jai Jai. All glories to Brihad Bhagavatam. All glories to Purushottam Rata, and all glories to all one following this. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, Dhanyavad Prams. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dhanyavad Prams. Thank you so much all for joining and attending today. Now can I please have Nicole